Hey everyone, happy Friday. I just wanted to, hopefully make a quick video about a topic that struck my heart last night in my time of prayer and a moment that I had with my daughter yesterday. It was on willingness. And what's crazy is God spoke to me and said, the reason why you're here with me right now at this level is because it started out with a willingness in your heart, a willingness in your mind. And I was sitting there like, okay, all right, God. So yesterday, just to kind of go back in the moment with my daughter. So I have a 9-year-old. If you've ever experienced my daughter, whether it was a conversation or whether it was just being in her presence, you understand that she is very upbeat, positive, happy-go-lucky kid, which I am so thankful for. But she had a moment with a subject in school, and it's an area in school that she struggles with. And as I was sitting there with her, I seen the frustration on her face. As a parent, we want to give our child the most opportunities with the best resources that we can possibly find. So I've done a lot of things, to help her in this area. I've studied with her. I've no TV during the weekday. Have her watch YouTube videos. Made songs up. Sent her to tutoring. And that's not cheap, but it's okay. So, as she was, having her moment of frustration, something hit me. And it was to question her willingness at the moment, her willingness when it came to that area. And she just told me like, it's hard because it's not fun. So I said, okay, typical for a 9-year-old. And, however you raise your kid is how you raise your kid. But I'm really at a level of wisdom where I am really striving to break bad habits, really striving within myself and within, anybody that I can inspire to do so or that is in my life, especially my daughter. So because it's hard, especially at my age, it's hard to break one bad habit. So I don't want her to accumulate bad habits where she struggles in her adult life to break them. So God, in that moment, I kind of got a little frustrated too. Homework is not my best thing, for any of you guys that understands it. But it made my heart soften at that moment, and it clicked as to what I needed to do. Some of you guys may say, oh, that's too harsh, or what. I don't care. Do what you want with your kid, but hey, I'm tired of, these kids going in a direction nobody does anything, or they're too scared to do things, or they're too soft, or whatever you want to say. So immediately I snapped my fingers at her, and she looked at me like, what the heck just happened? I said, Logan, I understand that this may not sound, it may not make sense to you right now, but I pray that one day this starts to make sense to you before you get to 18. Forget 21, whatever, before you even get to 18. And I said, right now with this subject, the only thing that's hindering you from learning it and being great at it, or for it not to be fun, is your willingness. And of course, she's like, what the hell is that? She didn't say hell, but she was like, what is that, mommy? And I said, the issue is that you don't have a willingness to learn this. That's why you're not getting it. That's why it's not clicking to you. And I said, just like mommy, I have to have a willingness. I had to break it down to her term, but some of the things I said, I have to have a willingness to get up every morning. I have to have a willingness to make us breakfast in the morning. I have to have a willingness to just do everyday life in order for it to be achieved and for me to for you to have these things. Now, what if I didn't have a willingness to do it? What happened? She's like, well, I wouldn't eat and I wouldn't do this and that. I say, exactly. So I have to, change my mindset in order to execute these things. And that starts with having a willingness to it. And she's like, well, what do you mean? I said, first of all, mommy has done X, Y, Z to help you in this subject. And you're still having the same issue. It's because of your willingness of how you're looking at the issue, how you're looking at the subject, how you're looking at the problem. You don't want to change that. And I said, until you change that and you have a will to do so, it's not going to change. It's not going to get better. And she's like, okay. And I said, it's simple things like we can easily Google and YouTube these things. And, they will show you, break it down for you as much as they possibly can. But it has to start with your mind being willing to receive it, being willing to absorb it, being willing to apply it. But every time you do those things, you don't even care. So that just goes to show, just that moment with her. I had to really be blunt with her. I had to stop sugarcoating the, oh, baby, this, and oh, I had to stop it right then and there, because I said, look, it's either you're going to get it or you're not. You're going to either change your willingness, your mindset to learn this stuff, or you're not. And until then, nothing's going to change. And that's just like us as adults. That's just like how we operate with God. God has spoke to me in my past. And the problem with then and now is my willingness to receive him differently, to receive him at a higher level, to receive what I needed to do. But I had to have a willingness. He's always there. We're always asking questions and waiting for answers, and he's always giving it to us. But the issue is, ask yourself, do you really have a willingness to accept it, or to do it, or to hear it, or to receive it? Do you have that? Because that's where things start to shift. Do you have a willingness to walk out in faith? It's that simple, guys. Do you have a willingness as a business owner to change some things up to get different results? Because the results that you have before is not doing anything for you. It's not moving your business where you want it to go. Do you have a willingness in your relationships to apologize first, to accept your responsibilities, to not look for an apology but still forgive? Do you have that willingness? That's extremely important. And it just dawned on me in that moment with my daughter that I had a teaching moment to explain to her that she had to have a willingness. Of course, I, made it colorful for my daughter. If you know her, she's very visual. She loves to dance and play. So I had to make it very colorful for her to get it. And what happened was, and I just want to share a little bit of the results. Well, she went to go take a nap, and that's okay. Everybody process things differently. Everybody needs to, kind of meditate on what just hit them or what somebody may have told them. She took a nap, she came back, and I was just doing, regular work, housework around the house, and she pulled out her laptop, and I heard her little hands typing, and I was just curious, so I said, "Hey, what are you doing over there, kid?" And she's like, "Well, after I sat and rested a little bit and cleared my mind, I decided to have a willingness to figure this out. And I decided to have a willingness to go back over the videos that we've watched before and take notes and actually see if it worked." And I said, okay, I respect that. I didn't even know what to say, because this is a 9-year-old telling me this. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna let you go ahead and figure it out. And about 30 minutes later, that one problem that she was frustrated with in that area, in that subject, She jumped up, she came running to me, and she's like, "Mommy, I understand it now." And I said, "You do?" And me, I already know she'll get it. I know how intelligent she is. That's not even the issue. But she's like, "I understand it because I saw the video that we watched a couple of days ago. I looked at it in a different manner." And I'm like, "Did you?" She's like, "Yeah, I took notes and I did this and I did that." And I'm like, "And what happened?" She's like, "I got the answer, Mommy, and I know how to do it, and let me teach you." And I'm like, and that right there, that was God. That was a moment of saying, "God, what you taught me, I was able to be fruitful and teach my daughter." It hurt a little bit. She didn't want to hear it at first, and I even struggled with delivering it by being so blunt at the time. But it worked. And now it's mind-blowing what happened last night. What shifted that moment. And that's how I look at us as adults and just humans in general, is we have to be willing to be teachable. You have to be willing to be teachable. And I think a lot of us, we want to be stuck in our old ways, or even we don't know how to get out of our old ways because that's all we know. That's all we've been around. Be willing to step out of your current environment. Be willing to stand out, however that may be. But it has to start with a foundation of willingness. The reason why I'm in this area of faith in my life is because I got tired of being tired. I gotten tired of talking about it. I've gotten tired of, hearing it or seeing other people, be blessed with it. And then I realized, what is the root to the problem? Where do I need to start to move forward? And it started with God telling me, "Are you willing? Are you willing, Lauren? Are you willing to have my way and not yours? Are you willing to experience me and not yourself? Are you willing to do things that are so uncomfortable that may place you in a place of humility in order to receive the fullness of life that I've provided for you? Are you willing, Lauren?" And I had to change my heart to understand what it took to be willing. So to say all that, and I know I said a lot, and I thought I was going to be short, I'm sorry, but if you stuck with me to the end, I appreciate you. I just want to say to anyone, I pray that you find a willingness in your heart. I pray that you find a willingness to take risks in life, to invest in that thing that you've been struggling with, to invest in that dream that doesn't make sense, that is so big that you can't even fathom how am I supposed to get there. Have a willingness to show other people how to become or have a will. The old saying that I've heard all my life, where there's a will, there's a way. So that just goes to show, when you have a will, it creates a way. It creates a way of results moving forward, results that are increased past what you're able to comprehend. So whoever watches this, thank you. It's beautiful outside where I am. I hope it's beautiful where you are. If not, have a will to change the way that you're seeing the weather and your day. So I pray that you are smiling, and I will see you guys later.